until a lady that I'd never met before, never spoken to in this conscious existence,
Yeah,
third dimensional reality. And she had a picture drawn of two stick figures. One was me and one was her. And there was a ray of light energy, and she had described the colors that she was seeing. And she said, I sensed your energy, thank you. I was sending you back green healing energy. And at the time, that just blew my mind, like blew the doors of perception open, because I was like, whoa, first of all, this is real. Secondly, I can literally pull thoughts and like energy models and anxiety out of people from like a distance, like, you know, sitting in the crowd, just like you guys. And that just completely blew my mind at the time. And, I further, I learned that I can do these things, and I can do them, I can do them basically anywhere and to anyone. However, I learned later that I shouldn't do it without permission, because in doing that, the things will just come back. I mean, if the person is not consciously aware that you're pulling something out of them, they'll keep the same habits that attracted that energy in the first place. So, thought models, thought forms will remain there, and they'll be removed temporarily, but they'll come back.
New ones come in.
Yeah, exactly. And so I stopped doing that, and also because that's a violation of free will, and that's you have to be divinely guided and go through extensive spiritual training to know when to interfere and like when it's your guidance and when it's coming from you, because otherwise you're just using your perception and you're like, well, this person shouldn't have this characteristic, and you pull that out, but that was like what was keeping them alive, so or what was keeping them going. So you never want to interfere with free will, and you never want to you always ask, and if you can't get permission from the person, and you can ask the higher self.
Can you repeat that sentence again?
So always ask for permission before pulling things out.
Yeah, like you said, if you take out a characteristic that we're meant to have, repeat that part again.
So if you take out a characteristic of somebody that you don't know, you don't know what makes somebody tick. Especially on a spiritual level, they may have certain karmas or contracts, or on a mental level, that characteristic.
Associated with their lesson as well.
Yeah, so you would basically be preventing that by pulling something out without their conscious free will. You would be preventing them from either learning a lesson or
Advancing.
or if they're unaware of it, you can, it would basically be violating their free will, and through their habits, they would bring that energy back into themselves.
Would you say like extreme stubbornness is like, oh, that's the most stubborn person, but maybe that stubbornness is what's holding the personality together.
And maybe that's what got them, the job they currently have, and now they can support their family, and that's what keeps them at their job. And if you change that, through hypnosis, or there's many other methods. I'm not saying energy work is the only method. There's things that you need other modalities for. And so I'll give another example, and because we're kind of getting short on time. So there was a time when I was having kidney stones, and I was in so much pain, and I was on the couch and I could barely move, and I didn't know what to do. I couldn't really drive myself to the hospital. So I was like, but I knew like it was kidney stones, so I would live, so I didn't really need like an ambulance. So I was just like toughing it out, and something made me think of Jesus and what he did, according to the biblical story, and how he took upon the sins of all of humanity through his death, through his pain. So something just took over me, and I just said, let this pain be for everything wrong that I've ever done in my entire life. And I actually asked for the pain to get stronger. And within a minute, pain was just completely gone. And it didn't come back for a very long time. And then it kind of, at one point, probably years in the future, it kind of started lighting up again, and I just asked again Jesus for help, and I could see like this beam of light, this violet ray coming in through my crown, and I could see it going directly into my kidney and disintegrating that stone. So I don't have medical confirmation that that's what happened, but for a while afterwards I was kind of if you've ever had kidney stones, like, you kind of start peeing out, like, little bits and pieces, not the full stone, but it can be just like a little bit, it's a little uncomfortable. So, I don't have medical confirmation that that stone was disintegrated by an invisible ray of light that beamed into me by an unknown source, but, all experiential factors lead me to that conclusion. And just one more. We have an altar at the house where sometimes we do events and healing events and gatherings, and we have an altar with a painting of Jesus, and I was actually lighting a candle. This was not too long ago. This was after I came back from Shasta. I was lighting just a regular wax candle. It was white, like the wax was white, it wasn't colored. And something spilled the wax from the candle. Like there was nothing, it couldn't have been, I was there the whole time. I would have seen with my peripheral if there was anything that moved that candle, but the wax got spilt and it turned blue as it touched the table. And it was some sort of reaction with the wood of the table, but it turned blue. I tried it on the counter, which was white, no color, but that table in particular turns blue. And something made me look up at the picture I have on the altar, and it said, it was a description of Jesus, and it said, Jesus Christ, a Syrian blue being.
Oh, wow.
And that's how that picture, it was like a picture of Jesus and basically a quick multidimensional galactic explanation of who Jesus is and what his mission was. And it just like this feeling of peace took over me, and that was just confirmation. And so,